Hello everybody, that Kamen Rider guy here yet again, and we're back to doing TOKU Explained, episode 8. So, on this episode, I'm going to be explaining something that's a little Halloween themed, but this was also a request from someone on TikTok who literally goes by Kamen Rider Ghost, and I'm going to be explaining the Gamma from Kamen Rider Ghost, or Ganma. Some people pronounce it differently depending on their language, but I'm going to be basically doing a simple explanation of what the Gamma are, how they function, without getting too spoilery with Ghost, because I personally think Kamen Rider Ghost is a great season and absolutely worth a watch. I'm going to mainly be explaining, again, what they are, how they function, and stuff that's not really explained in the show, because a common thing with Kamen Rider that happens is a lot of world building or storytelling gets pushed to the side for merchandise. Alright, so the basic understanding of the Gamma is that they are from an alternate dimension, not necessarily reality. They are from an entirely different world that parallels our own, and they are essentially the villain of the week in Kamen Rider Ghost. Their basic black form is known as the Gamma Assault form, and the Gamma are created through different technologies in the Gamma world that is often referred to simply as Gamma Tech. And they are often immune to our world's form of weaponry because of this unique technology, and only other Gamma tech-based weapons can harm them, like the Ghost Driver. Okay, so the Gamma are created through these pods. There are these capsules that the people of the Gamma world majority of them are residing in because there was some sort of cataclysm, a horrible tragedy. I don't want to get too spoilery, that caused their world to be uninhabitable, and now they are in these pods, and through these pods they create the Gamma icons, which is what allows a Gamma to take form, and then once they enter our world, possess an object to gain a different form. So their base form typically is translucent, they can't be seen, but they can affect the world around them or possess people. And then once they possess an item, then they get a stronger, more base form, and their whole purpose is the Gamma influence people to commit evil until they go mad, and then they use that energy of the influence to sacrifice their targets. And then they create a ghost that they harvest to create the icons throughout the show. And if a human becomes possessed by a Gamma for 99 days, they will take over that person indefinitely, and then there's nothing that can be done to separate the Gamma from the individual because they are now one and the same. Okay, so real quick, I want to explain the uniform structure of the Gammas because I feel like it's important to understand them. So again, at the bottom you have the assault form Gammas, who are the ones that try to possess humans or objects, take over their souls to gain a physical form. And once they gain that form is then known as the empowered Gamma, where they'll take on attributes of someone's soul in an attempt to create an icon of one of the historical figures, as you see early on in episodes 1 through 5 of Ghost. And then you have the Gamma Superior, who are like generals or captains in an army. They have a physical permanent form, and they resemble the Kamen Riders with the horns on their heads and their blue and silver armor. And they are actually the ones who can directly use the Gamma icons to transform and also summon Parka ghosts, which are your grunts. And then you have the Gamma Ultima, which are very high-ranking Gammas in the Gamma world who directly work for, take orders from, protect, and fight for the royal family of the Gamma world. Yes, they have a whole royal family structure. Again, I don't want to explain too much about that because a lot of it is spoilers for Ghost if you haven't seen it. And also a lot of that lore is expanded upon after the show ends, so all in all, I would rather you guys go out and see it and experience it for yourself. Okay, now back to the main point of the video, explaining what the Gamma are. So the Gamma specifically it's a lot like the Avatar system in the Avatar movies, James Cameron's, not The Last Airbender, where the people in the Gamma world are put into those capsules, and the capsules scan their soul and create a copy. That copy can either be turned into an icon, or it can be used directly to create the lesser assault form Gamma. And essentially, the Gamma are ghosts in our world because they don't actually exist in the physical world. That's why they have to possess someone. And it ties into, the supernatural ghost aspect of the series. So the Gamma are essentially copies of the souls of the people in the Gamma world who are used to enforce the will of the royal family and to continue the icon hunting. Again, I don't want to get too deep into it because it will be spoilers for those who haven't seen it. But I hope this video better explains the Gamma because honestly, in Ghost, they don't really do a good job explaining it. And I think a better detail of it is brought up in the After Ghost Ended movies, like the one with Spectre and a couple others. But that's all I got for now. And again, if you know more or have better information than me, please explain it in the comments below. I would love to hear more on it myself. And yeah, that's all I've got for now. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the videos. It helps me out a tremendous amount. I am very much looking forward to my return. Hopefully it is sooner than later. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, it's always Henshin time.